Hello there guys, welcome to Daily Updates. This morning we saw a very scary scene where a driver of an Avanza transporting school kids was stopped by taxi bosses, taxi drivers, and upon being stopped, luckily the kids decided to go out of that Avanza and escape. But the driver was shot dead by those people who happened to be associated with taxis. They shot that driver dead. So the dispute was sparked by a City of Cape Town bylaw that authorizes traffic officers to impound the vehicles of repeat offenders rather than continuing giving fines. So this led to a dispute between City of Cape Town and the Santaco. So they started having a fight, and last week the taxi industry withdrew their services following violent clashes with the authorities. What we saw was that they decided not to put their taxis on the road, and the people of South Africa were stranded back from work. Most of them were trying to go inside buses, which were not even many, which were not even safe. So if you were lucky to go inside that bus, you get to live for that day. But most of them were stranded in ranks. They slept in ranks. They were hungry, most of them. And if by any chance you come with a car and just help some of them, your car get bent. You might get killed. That is what is happening there by Cape Town. So the fact that we saw this morning a driver of an Avanza getting killed and kids running away from that scene, it speaks of how South Africa is. The fact that a certain part of an organization can hold the government to ransom. The City of Cape Town, they are holding it at ransom. And this is because City of Cape Town is trying to put their laws. They are trying to stamp their laws. And the fact that the taxi bosses do not agree with what they are doing, then they decide we'll meet on the battleground. Who suffers? The ordinary citizens of South Africa. If for profit a person is killed, a life is lost, and once that strike is over, people continue as normal, then we have a very big problem. How does it happen that it is easy to kill a person and go on as if things are normal? I will kill you because you are walking, you are driving on a road that I declare that I own this. They also killed a policeman who happened to be part of those people who were helping with this strike. And what happened is that this policeman decided he was done with his shift. He drives home. And on the way, he sees these people who are helpless walking home, and he decides to give them a lift. He drives with these people, giving few people a lift, and on their way to wherever they were going, they were stopped and shot at. This policeman loses his life. Still no consequences to the fact that nobody is above the law in South Africa. But we have seen in the past, we have seen how things go. Once the taxi bosses, once the taxi industry decide that today we are striking, we are closing the national road, we are closing the roads, no one will do anything. And indeed, nobody does anything. The country is held at ransom by the taxi industry. And they've been doing this for a long time. But because the passengers, the people of South Africa who make these people rich, who put food on the table for these people, are not respected. And each and every time when these things happen, they are not taken into consideration. It cannot be done that people of South Africa can come together and say, enough is enough, we are no longer going to commute on those taxis. It cannot be done because people of South Africa, most of them are poor. If you do not use taxis, what else are you going to use? So the government of South Africa is living on a ticking time bomb. Because at this point, it seems like there is no rule of law in South Africa. The transport industry is just a shame. Even when Fikile Mbalula was part of it, it was still worse. If you look at the transport industry as a whole in South Africa, it is a shame. But now, we can bear having corrupt people removing trains and putting trucks so that they can make money of it, and then a lot of people get killed on the road. We can bear that. But we really cannot bear many lives getting lost, people losing their jobs, economy taking a hit, especially Western Cape, because a certain part decided, okay, we are not going to put our taxis on the road, but also no one is going to help these commuters that we are used to carrying to work. If we are not working, no one should take our place. If something is not done to this kind of actions, this country will keep getting rotten day by day. What is the president of South Africa saying when people are getting killed? Is it because it's under the DA? At some point, we should leave the fact that it's under these parties, under that. We should look at the fact that if it doesn't happen in Western Cape, if it happens in other provinces, it is still going to be the same. People are going to die. And as people of South Africa, we can only say that we disapprove of that, but the people with more power are the ones at the high places, like the president, like the ministers. Yes, they're chasing the Zamazamas. On the other hand, here are taxi owners striking, killing people. We don't mind taxi owners striking. It's the way they want to do things. But when lives are lost, that becomes a very huge problem. I wish the president of South Africa can take a stand on this and say, enough is enough. Let's deal with this thing decisively, because at some point, something must be done, because this thing is not stopping any minute from now. Yes, they are impounding all these taxis who are involved in this violence, but people are getting killed. And if they don't go to work, people are losing jobs. People are getting hungry. What a shame, South Africa.